It's very difficult to explain to people that you have to look at the news and you have to look at what's going on, not in terms of how your particular side or party or candidate is affected directly, but how the country is, how justice is affected, how people's ability to appreciate and enjoy the Constitution are ultimately affected. You see, you can hate Trump all you want. It doesn't matter. You can hate Trump all you want. That's not the issue. We don't decide due process based upon whether we like someone. I've never cared for the notion of impeachment. And when Bill Clinton was impeached, I said, I don't understand this. This is not what the impeachment process is about. This is trying to subvert the election. If you want to get rid of him, vote him out of office. And of course, people went crazy because I said, I don't care who the president is. And I still say that. And what are people doing right now? They say we should impeach Biden. Wait a minute. You just said that is a way of subverting the system. Yeah, but what's fair is fair. It doesn't work like that. The other day, there was a statute that prohibited, I think it was in Tennessee, that prohibited drag shows or whatever. It was so horribly and so poorly written, it was patently unconstitutional, violating the First Amendment, even though I'm against subjecting kids to John Waters' dystopian, drag show horror. That's not the issue. The issue is not whether I like the result. The issue is the law. The issue is the application of the law. The issue is whether the law has been applied correctly or not by virtue of the Constitution. This thing that we always talk about, this wonderful document. We love to talk about the flag, but this is why people died for. This is what they died for. I'm going to explain this to you. But first, let me remind you, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit the bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And let me also tell you right now that preparewithlionel.com is where you have to go if you want to get a 3-month emergency food supply kit, where you get off the top $200, 2,000 calories a day. Just go to the site, preparewithlionel.com. There's a link right there. 2,000 calories a day, 21 varieties of food, a 25-year shelf life. Tasty, delicious breakfast, lunches, dinners, snacks, drinks. Resealable heavy-duty 4-layer pouches with oxygen absorbers, 120 pounds of food that are stacked beautifully and modularly together. No MSG added. It's the greatest chance for you to get around the idea of a catastrophic disaster, and it will happen. Go to preparewithlionel.com and get $200 off of a 3-month emergency food supply. By the way, 3 months, which is the minimum per person per household. Think about that. Now, I don't care about politics when it comes to the application of the law. When it comes to the application of the Constitution, I don't care about who's who. I don't care about race, gender, political party, political affiliation, wealth, status. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care. In fact, most of the constitutional provisions of the Bill of Rights applies to persons, not even citizens. That's right. When people come to this country illegally, they're still entitled to the protections of, in many cases, of the Constitution. So I'm not one here who uses it, whenever I find it appropriate. Donald Trump is now so, if there was an arrow in him, for every example of every constitutional, legal, due process, and not only that, there are some things that we just don't do that are just un-American. We don't do things. You don't indict someone who happens to be the number one, the leading Republican challenger to the president in office, whose own criminal racketeering family This is the part. This is, in West Tampa, we would call it C.O. Jones, the stones that you would have, the elephantine huevos that you would have to bring charges against Donald Trump and make the House fight with Christopher Wray and others to find out, what do you know about this president and his son and his family and his brother regarding absolute, crystal clear evidence and indicia of racketeering, felony participation in schemes and operations that defy our notions of crime. I mean, what are you doing? What is happening here? And you're going after this man. So here's the story. If there was this arrow, just imagine him looking like a pincushion. They went after Trump for the emoluments clause. The emoluments clause. Twice he was impeached. Then they went after Carter Page. They went after his daughter and her own businesses and the patterns and the trademarks. They went after every single thing he had. They went after everybody he knew. They went after his lawyers. They went after anybody who dared to claim that his 2020 election was stolen or was tampered with. Oh, you couldn't say that. The word was out. The 65 Project and others told you, if you're a lawyer and you even think, if you have the slightest hope of practicing in the future and you have anything to do with this man, you're done. How about that? We go after you, your family, your business, your lawyers, maybe your doctors next. From the moment this man stepped in to office. And here is the question. Here is why. That's the most important. Give you an example. Perfect analogy. One of the reasons why you have to ask whether there is bribery involving Biden and others, or whether the Hunter Biden laptop may possess or may have on it information which could compromise the first family and make him susceptible to blackmail and extortion and honey traps and all that, is for that very reason. Makes sense. This is the whole Epstein case. This is the Epstein case that nobody seems to care about. This is the Epstein case that nobody is paying attention to. This is the Epstein case, which is not about a black book. It's not about an island. No. It's about the individuals who went through the various properties of Epstein and were recorded having illicit congress with underage women. I think women, but one never knows. See, that's the issue. We're missing the point. So my question is, if you were to ask Jack Smith or ask Merrick Garland, what is your worst fear about Trump? What do you think he's going to do with these documents? Tell me. Do you have any evidence that he was conspiring with Putin or with Xi Jinping or with MBS or anybody to perhaps use them to sell, to act as treason? Do you think Donald Trump, Mr. Make America Great Again, is a traitor? Would do anything to compromise the safety, the national security of his beloved country? Well, if not, what is it that, tell me at its best, what do you think he was going to do? What do you think, tell me, that he was going to do with these documents? We're dying to know. Please, we beg you, just tell us. What was it? Now, I don't understand why he had those. I don't get it. I don't know why anybody ever has these. But if you want to ask about why people keep things, ask Hillary Clinton. Ask Joe Biden. Joe Biden's got stuff since when he was a senator. And for some reason, those particular rules, well, that's different. It was inadvertent versus willful. They're actually going to use that. It is believed that the federal government will claim that the violations of this maintaining these documents on the part of Biden Trump rather, were willful. Willful, not inadvertent, not oops, but a deliberate means of hanging on to them for reasons nobody knows why. It's insanity. That's all. That's all. My dear friends, I ask you again, I ask you specifically, I just ask you very simply this. I ask you, why? Why? Why is this necessary? Tell me why. Jack Smith, Marijuana, tell me. What? What is it? It's not just because you fear him politically. You hate him. You hate him. And that hate is almost, it's like a psychosexual fetish. It's not real. It's sadism. You want him ground into pumice, into ash, into powder. I've never seen anything like it. It traverses and transcends anything that even resembles rational thinking. All right, dear friends, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And don't forget our sponsor, preparewithlionel.com. You go and look. Look and see what's available right there. This is emergency food in the case of an emergency. All right? Not emergency golf clubs, not emergency, highball glasses, but emergency food, as in survival. And now, my friends, I ask you to kindly grace the portals of my existence by commenting as you see fit.